I haven't been wanting to make this video because the subject is a little bit taboo. People are going to think it's kind of weird or out there, but it's something I've been practicing for years. I've actually practiced this for years at a time, and it's served me very effectively, and I feel like this information needs to get out there for men to start improving, because it's easy to say just do semen retention, but it's very impractical. When men, we have so much testosterone, so much sexual urges, it's very unlikely that we're going to absolutely be 100% non-sexual in any sort of way. It's just very impractical, to be honest. Even for myself, it's very impractical. I find myself with women, I find myself talking to women, going out with women, and dating women. So it's very impractical for me, myself, to tell myself I'm going to be absolutely not sexual at all. It's not an easy thing to do. You can do it, and I would call this more like hardcore mode, and it's something that I've done and that I will continue to do. I will continue to go into the hardcore mode, but it's energy that's very difficult to work with and to sustain in that hardcore, no sexual activity whatsoever. Now, you can still do semen retention and be quite sexually active, and I have myself in the past been quite sexually active while doing semen retention. Now, it's going to require a little bit more energy. Yes, you're going to have to spend sexual energy, but you can retain the vital fluids, which is the most important thing. Yes, you're going to expand some sexual energy that you could use for something else. Yes, when you engage in a sexual act, you're releasing some sort of sexual energy, but you're not releasing the vital fluids if you do this practice that I'm talking about. A lot of people can't engage in sexual acts and retain their seed. But to me, this is like, I've done it so long that it doesn't even make sense to release my seed if I'm engaging in a sexual act. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The times that I've done it, I feel absolutely stupid, like I was robbed of my energy completely. And I'm like, why did I do that again? That didn't feel any better than not releasing. Because you can actually have orgasm without releasing. And that's what I think people need to know. Men need to know this, because we don't need to be releasing this vital fluid every time we engage in some sort of relation. We don't need to be releasing this vital fluid. And yes, a lot of women don't like it. A lot of women are going to think it's weird, or they're going to be mad. They're going to be kind of mad that you don't release. Like, this is just how it is. Okay, who cares? Who cares if a girl's mad that you didn't release? Who cares? Like, as a man, you have to be above that as well. You have to be above what a woman wants of you. You should be able to be your own man and decide what you want. And you could take into consideration what she wants, but something as sacred as your vital fluids doesn't make any sense. Why should you listen to her about it? It's not her fluids, it's your fluids. So you should respect this energy. And even if she wants you to release, unless you really want to release, which you can do it, but you're probably going to regret it. Unless you really want to do it, you shouldn't do it for her. It's just totally stupid. But I'm just making this video because I know guys are not going to be completely non-sexual. And I don't want guys to feel like bad about themselves, guilty. I think that's one of the worst things about this whole community, is men feeling guilty for engaging in natural things like sexual pleasure. You shouldn't feel guilty about it. I mean, as long as it's consensual, you shouldn't feel guilty about any kind of sexual relation. Like, you shouldn't feel guilty, even if it's self-pleasuring. Like, you shouldn't feel guilty about these things. But you should understand your responsibility of your vital fluids, of your vital force as a man. You should understand that responsibility and not just frivolously throw it away just because you gave way to your sexual desires. You can give way to your sexual desires and retain that fluid. And it's quite simple, but you need to kind of train yourself. Like, I've trained myself over years. Like, it's very unlikely that I'm going to release in any, if I'm with any woman, it's if I'm doing any kind of sexual thing, it's very unlikely I'm going to release, because I've trained myself. I've trained myself to not release. And it's not about holding back. It's not about holding back. Like I said, you can still have sexual pleasure. You can still orgasm without releasing. It's just, you have to know your body. You have to know how to stop the flow from coming out. And you can look into this tantric practices, but it's pretty simple. I don't really want to get into detail in this video because this is YouTube. I feel like this is a little bit too taboo for YouTube, but it's pretty easy to learn. You don't have to be some yogic master or whatever. Like, you just practice this. It's just a few muscles down there that you need to train, and it's quite simple, and you can retain your vital fluids, and you don't have to repress or suppress yourself all the time, because as men, it's very unlikely that you're going to do that. Like, it's very unlikely. We could say all day that I'm going to retain, I'm going to be completely celibate and non-sexual for years and years and years. Okay, good luck with that. To be honest, good fucking luck with that. If you can do that, man, salute to you. But the majority of men are not going to do that, are not able to do it, don't want to do that. But it's quite easy to do what I'm talking about here, because you can still do everything you want. You can still have pleasure. You can still orgasm, but you don't have to release your vital fluids. And that's like the main message I want to have in this video. Like, there's no excuse for releasing your vital fluids. Releasing your vital fluids is basically saying to the universe, I want to unalive myself. That's what you're basically saying, because there's no other reason to do it unless you want to create another life, unless you want to have a baby. But there's literally no other reason to do it besides you just wanting to waste all of your energy. Like, there's no other reason to want to do it. There really isn't, because it's not about pleasure. Once you learn how to do what I'm talking about, it's no longer about pleasure. It's no longer about indulgence. It's just like, I don't want to live. I don't want to have energy. I don't want to grow. I don't want vital life force inside me. Like, that's basically what you're saying to yourself. So learn these practices. Learn how to actually retain your vital fluids when you're engaging in a sexual act, and stop feeling guilty about it. If you want to do the hardcore mode, go and try it. But if you fall gracefully, and don't release those such important vital fluids that you need to, for so many reasons. Like, I could get into this video, but you just have to experience it for yourself to understand why it's so important if you don't understand it yet. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. I'll see y'all later.